Okay, we got sound. Get in focus. Thank you. Okay, follow me. Are you in focus yet? I hope you're in focus because I can't see this far. Is it in focus? I hope it's in focus, man. Really hope it's in focus. Let me get my ducks in a row. I can't even tell if this thing is recording or not. Man, being short-sighted is a... Okay, it is recording. Yeah, it is recording. Okay, all right, cool. Are you back in focus? Are you sure? Okay, cool. What up, everybody? I'm Brian Willis, no relation to Bruce, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off ZW. My, what a week. A lot has been going on, but before we get to that, please make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and please share your experiences with us. If there's certain things that you'd like us to talk about, feel free to leave a comment down below, or even email us if you got some business that you'd like to do with us, or if you'd like to buy a t-shirt. T-shirts are $15 a pop. New designs will be coming in the month of February, so maybe it could be a Valentine's gift for somebody. Yeah, why not? A gloves off. I mean, we've got a Ray Desert theme. It can work as a Valentine's Day gift, right? I'm sure it will. Anyway, let me get right into it. Let me just get my notes in order. So we're gonna start with local news. And last week, if you remember, we were talking about RayVines talking a whole lot of insensitive stuff about Solomon, who suffers from albinism. And yeah, they had a back and forth to the extent of which RayVines ended up insulting him about his albinism. The insult did not start with the albinism, however. It started with RayVines insulting Winky D and Solo defending Winky D, and a back and forth happened, and you know, the albinism was brought up, right? Check out that last episode. Something should pop up there, hopefully, if the editors are not lazy. Or I'll put a link in the description below. But the update is, recently RayVines was on the Ollah 7 show, podcast, a very lovely podcast where he talks to all sorts of local celebrities in Zimbabwe. If you guys don't know Ollah was the guy who was at Star FM. It is Star FM, right? Yeah, he was at Star FM and he left, and a whole lot of people were saying he's gonna fail, he's gonna do this and blah. You know how people are when somebody just wants a change for themselves. But you know, Ollah 7 seems to be doing very well. He started off a bit shaky with bad picture quality, bad sound and whatnot, but he's picking up. I think these are things that we learn along the way. I mean, some of us are still learning the process. I mean, it's pretty much a one-man show, but you just have to learn as you go. You can't just be scared of what people are going to say, because people will say something anyway. If they don't find something wrong with you there, they'll look for something wrong with you there. So it's always good to just do things for you and make yourselves and the people that want to play with you happy. If people don't want to play with you, they can look the other way. But obviously, misery loves numbers, or misery comes in numbers, or whatever the statement is, or misery loves company, or whatever. So people will always want to look at what other people are enjoying and always want to put salt on other people's cake. But anyway, Ollah is doing very well, right? Anyway, back to RayVines. RayVines was on the Ollah show, Ollah 7. And he was saying, he was pretty much doubling down on the whole Solomon issue. And he even gave an example of a guy he used to go to school with who suffered from albinism as well, who had a letter that the school is not allowed to hit him for obvious reasons. But because of this now, this guy was always going around causing trouble in the school and nobody could touch him. And, you know, basically the dude was just, you know, using that to his advantage. So I think the context was Solomon is using this to his advantage because he goes around, because a lot of people are saying Solomon is also not a very nice person. But what I'd like to say to those people is, of course, Solomon is not a very nice person, but yeah, going about somebody's you know, disabilities is a bit much. But at the same time, if you are somebody with a disability, I feel like you shouldn't throw that kind of energy out there, because it gets really messy on where do we draw the line. Because if you are attacking other people's feelings and they're getting hurt, what is to stop those other people from attacking you back on what they think hurts you? So obviously, if you're somebody with a disability, low blows are definitely going to be on the cards at some point. I'm not saying it's right, by the way. I'm just saying people should just be nice to one another. But anyway, RayVines is not apologizing, and people are still unfriending the guy, blocking him on Twitter, and there's a whole campaign. But there's still some people who are on RayVines' side, and they're saying that RayVines is the victim and Solomon is riding the victim wave. I don't know. A lot of people are also on Solomon's side, but it's now an issue of who's more in the wrong here. I mean, it's difficult to say. Of course, RayVines, what he did was terrible. But at the same time, I feel like it's always good to just give positive energies out there. Don't be that person that's always wanting to give like negative energy out there, and then when that negative energy comes back and hits you where it hurts, you play the victim, if you get what I'm saying. But I mean, share your thoughts and comments below. It's allowed, negative or positive. We welcome all of them. Please, this whole thing of saying, I saw your show, oh my goodness, and I never saw your subscription, I never saw your comment, I never saw your like. Feedback is what helps these things grow. Brian Willis, no relation to Bruce. Moving on. So, do you guys remember that episode we spoke about Robson Mandu and Fari Jules from ZBC? Well, turns out Fari Jules is in another story that involves ZBC. Well, sort of, yeah, it involves ZBC, but this time I think it's a little bit more dire. So, in case you guys didn't know, there were two ZBC presenters that were fired from ZBC. These two women are Farai Juliet Magada and Victoria Manasseh. So these two women, they were fired because I can't even, like, I actually want to laugh because I can't believe that people are still perpetuating such propaganda. Guys, Lobengula did not sell the country for chewing gum, for sugar, or for a mirror, whatever the misconceptions are. That did not happen. Okay? If you read your history on the Rudd Concession and the Moffat Treaty, it will tell you that, you know, certain things were said orally to Lobengula which were probably not put in the contract. And they took advantage of a whole lot of things with that contract. Lobengula did not sell the country for sugar. Come on, guys, give the man a little bit more respect. He was sidelined. He was blindsided, rather, if you want to put it that way. The guys that came in lied to him. That is what happened. Anyway, go read the Rudd Concession and the Moffat Treaty. Anyway, these two ladies were fired, as well as the whole board, ZBC board. They were all fired due to their rather ignorant comments. And, you know, like, the women were gleefully laughing, you know, blissfully basking in their ignorance. It was actually quite disturbing. This did not happen, okay? And I just wonder what people out there will be thinking. Like, it's sad. So yeah, this is the same Fari Jules who was in the whole Robson Mandu scandal. Speaking of which, I wonder what happened with that Robson Mandu scandal, because there was a whole audio recording, of the guy saying he wants, well, the guy on the audio, I don't know if it's Robson Mandu. Hey, these things are highly alleged. Everything I say on this show, guys, never take it as fact. Take it as allegedly, even if I don't say it. Okay? So, lawyers, if I'm ever in trouble in the future, use this part of the podcast. Thank you. But anyway, I wonder what happened, because that story, from what I hear, just went quiet. But yeah, these two ladies, they got fired with immediate effect. I never heard of Robson Mandu getting fired. I heard he got suspended. Don't know if he got fired. So yeah, maybe there's a bit of, hey, I'm not speaking factually here. Maybe he did get fired. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So, moving on to international news, an update on Jonathan Majors. Yeah. So, Jonathan Majors, yeah, like I told you, he got dropped from Marvel. He got dropped from all the movies that he was going to be in. It's a huge blow for Marvel, though. But he's on a round of interviews immediately after the verdict, and he's trying to plead his innocence to people. However, I think he shouldn't have. I think it's a little bit too soon. I think he needs to collect himself first, and just give himself time, because he seems a little bit too emotional in his interviews, and he seems a little bit. It feels like he's trying to convince people too much. Like, I feel there's a little too much superfluous energy in his idea of what innocence looks like. I don't know, like, the way he talks, the way he's trying to play the victim. I feel like it's a bit much, especially when you're used to him acting as a tough guy in the movies and stuff like that. When he starts now acting he's trying to be himself now. I think he's a way better actor than he is at acting as himself. Yeah, I think he should have given himself a little bit more time. Because in the last interview, the one interview that I watched, he wasn't really answering questions properly. I remember there was a question where he was asked something in the lines of, "Did you hurt Miss Jabari, or do you regret hurting Mrs. Jabari?" And his answer was something along the lines of, "I shouldn't have been in the car." Dude. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like you're not playing your cards very well here. A lot of people believe you're innocent. A lot of people believe that you're just another black man who's fallen victim. In fact, I'm also one of the people who believe that. But I'm also one of the people who believe that your defense wasn't really that strong, in the sense that you didn't use self-defense as a defense in your case. You used everything else. And I don't know what your team was advising you, but yeah, so I believe that maybe the interviews should not have been done by Jonathan Majors. I don't know. You tell me what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misjudging this whole thing. But I think maybe he should have taken his time a bit and waited for a bit. I don't know what the strategy is going around so soon. I might be wrong. Comments are always welcome. Where I'm wrong, correct me. And do not even be polite when you try and correct me. Moving on, so we've got Katt Williams again. He's really milking the limelight on him. He's really taking advantage of the clout, which, to be honest, anyone else would do that. The game is all about clout. That's what marketing is about. It's clout. It's getting attention, and he's really riding that wave. And he recently was on the Willie D live podcast, and
sent in. Nobody asked worse questions. You have the worst questions in all of interviewing, and you can count on it. Nobody's going to mimic your questions. So, yeah, it's an honor. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Katt Williams.
Watching that podcast, well, a lot of things he said were already said on the Club Shay Shay, especially where religion was concerned and his background, how he was, a little genius at, from like 5 years old and stuff like that, and how he read so many books and blah. It was pretty much a bit of a repeat for the majority of the episode, and I felt like Willie D's questioning was a little bit bland. Yeah, because like, how do you ask a guy a question like, when did you become insightful to your surroundings? Because you seem like a very insightful dude. When did you become insightful about your surroundings and stuff like that? When the dude was pretty much explaining when he started seeing that things were not right when he was around, I don't know, 5 years old or something like that. I mean, that question was already answered. And I felt like Willie D had this, like, I don't know, his energy was way different from Shay Shay. And maybe it's a different style. And this is my first time watching Willie D. So, and I subscribed. So, yeah, you got a subscriber. But I just felt like he was a bit bland in comparison. And the lighting, yo, Willie D, you need to improve on the lighting on your show, because the lighting there it was a bit too strong. I like the studio setup, but the lighting, I felt like it was a bit too strong and hard. I mean, get some diffusers. I don't know if there were diffusers on your lights or the brightness needs to be lowered. I don't know, man. What I did like about the interview, though, was Katt Williams went deeper on the whole religion side of things. If you remember, he said that he was a Muslim, Jew, Christian. He's visited all the religions, because the only way that you can learn about these religions is from within. And he actually ended up saying that if you notice, most of these religions, they're actually not arguing. They are saying the same thing. They are pretty much all on the same page, but something is being orchestrated to keep these people apart. So I liked that side of him. And I mean, sure, this episode was not the same energy that we got from Club Shay Shay, but dude was definitely as insightful as he was on Shay Shay. And look, Willie D is not to say he was completely boring. He wasn't. He did ask some good questions. I think it's an episode that you guys should watch for yourselves, because we all got different tastes at the end of the day. So I don't want to make it seem like Willie D is bad, but let me put it in a sense that he's not my cup of tea. It's 1 hour long, so it's a bit more digestible than the almost 3 hour long Schneiderverse from Club Shay Shay. But at least the Club Shay Shay one, man, it just starts off with Katt swinging. So, you go through it. I slept through a bit of it, but it's, it was a lot more energy than this one. This 1 hour felt like 3 hours. It felt the same. Yeah. And I mean, even Katt Williams at the end, oh my goodness, Katt Williams was actually quite savage. Because at the end of the Willie D podcast, he actually says, no one asks such terrible questions or something like that. He says something like, no one is worse than you when it comes to asking questions. You ask all the worst questions. Yeah, he said it something along those lines. You ask all the worst questions. I don't know if he meant his questions are bad, or they're the worst in the sense that they're difficult to answer and that they're so personal. I hope that's what he meant, because that would have been savage. On somebody's podcast and you say something in somebody's house, Cat? Come on, man. But at the end of the day, it was also another insightful one. And I think we're going to be seeing plenty more of Katt Williams. These were my thoughts on Katt Williams on the last episode. Link in the description below, or if it pops up somewhere there, I don't know. But check it out. Check it out. So my movie recommendation. Yeah. movie recommendation for today, I would recommend Leo. It's on Netflix. This is a Adam Sandler movie. He stars in the movie. He's Leo the, is it a gecko? Is it Leo the lizard? He's a gecko, lizard, or whatever. You know those guys that can lose their tails but it grows back? Yeah, watch that movie. He was voice acting. And you got Bill Burr. He was the turtle, the tortoise. It's a hoot of a movie. It's brilliant for the family. It's brilliant for adults as well, because there are a lot of those like adult themed jokes, but kids will not get them. Well, kids of a slightly older age, like maybe 11, 12, might get them, but you know, the young little toddlers, they're not going to get it, or even the kids in ECD. Speaking of kids in ECD, the way they depicted the ECD kids in that movie, y'all need to watch it. It's definitely a hoot. I gave it, I think I gave it an 8.9, or was it a 7.8 out of 10 on Brian Willis Movie Reviews. Check it out on my Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook, there are a whole host of other movies that I recommend there. If you got any other movies that you'd like me to watch and give you my feedback, talk to me. I'll give you my feedback. I love watching movies. I hate horrors. I'm just going to let you know that. I hate horrors, okay? And moving on to Song of the Week. This week, we got Master H featuring Voltz JT on the song Dhanzi. It's not called Nawana Dam. It's not, of which I don't know why it's not called Nawana Dam. I mean, I don't understand it when people like, there's the one word that's being mentioned throughout the whole song, and you don't name the song that. Maybe it's because there's already another song that's called Nawana Dam. Hey, sorry for the noise in the background. I mean, neighborhoods. I'm sorry if you can hear all that. But yeah, the song is a banger. Master H seems to be coming up as one of Zim's favorite chanters, because he's the same guy that was on the 216 Whiskey and Mr. Attention song Gore, which was Song of the Week last week. He was also on that song, and he's doing quite well. He's proving to be somebody to watch. And when you watch the video, when you hear the song, I thought the song was Voltz JT's song when I heard the song, but because maybe Voltz is the more popular guy, or to me that is. But then when I watched the video, I was like, hey, why does it feel like it's a Master H song? Because there was more of Master H in the video. It was only up until I saw this part here where it says Master H featuring Voltz JT. That's when I was like, oh, it's Master H's song. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Shout out to SAP. They're the ones who shot the video. A lot more could be done. I think what I felt was the song was a bit too short, because it's like less than 3 minutes long. We needed a little bit more. We need more, energy for us to dance in the clubs. But the song is still a banger nonetheless, and I'm pretty sure a remix is coming. And speaking of this picture right here, when I saw this part, I kind of like thought Voltz JT kind of looks like a stud in this shot. You don't know what a stud is? Yeah, go use the Urban Dictionary. I'll leave it there. It was a great song. I really did love it. Hopefully they don't put out a remix yet, because I believe the song still needs to resonate to the crowd. People need to enjoy the song a bit more. Don't be too quick like you guys did with Gore. Give the song at least 2-3 months in circulation, and then come up with the remix. Now, there was a debate that was going around about what the word Nawana Dem means. To be honest, I don't know. I'm not Rastafari. I mean, I do have the Rasta, but I'm not a Rastafari by, because Rastafarianism is like a religion. I don't follow that religion. I eat pork. They eat pork, right? I don't know. I don't even know, but I'm just not them. That's what I'm saying. Just love the hairstyle. So a lot of people are saying that it means not one of them. I think it means with one of them based on the context of the song. Because if you listen to the lyrics, it sounds like they're saying with one of them. So I had to get a chance with one of them. You know, nah, one of them. You know, nah in Shona means with. Brian, nah, Nivek. Brian, oh no, that means and. That's a different context. Brian, nah, Kevin. Brian is with Nivek. Of which Nivek had, you know, this is going to be quite frequent, me doing this alone. Because this year, Nivek has got a few projects that he's working on. But when he comes back, he's going to come back strong. So will Gloves Off. But anyway, I don't know what the word means. I don't know what Nawanade means. It could mean anything. But in the context of the song, I think it means with one of them. That's what I think. Good song overall. JT's verse was fire. I actually did not expect that from JT. I mean, he did the same delivery, but it felt different. It didn't feel monotonous, you know, like some of his music. With the whole... He did do that, but it didn't feel monotonous. He clicked. There was good chemistry between the two of them. Anyway, if you got any other songs that you would like us to rate on the show, please do comments below. And that's it for today's episode. Like I said, if you got any products that you'd like to push, anything you would like to push on the episode, email is in the description below. All our contact details are in the description below, or it's scrolling across right here, right now. And if you'd like a t-shirt, $15 a pop. New design coming next month. Brown Willis, no relation to Bruce, and this was another episode of Gloves Off ZW. The camera is too low for me to do that whole thing. Anyway, guys, I'm out.